Hey guys, what's up? First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for all the comments on my last video. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Don't worry, I'll make sure to give all that support back by creating even better content for you guys. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the worst mistakes that every Exp Laner should avoid. By the way, I'm not the Exp Laner in this game, okay? I'm actually using Alpha here, one of my favorite heroes in Mobile Legends. The enemies in this match are pretty tough too. All of them are solid players. But I want you to pay close attention to our Exp Laner in this game, because we'll be learning some important lessons from him, especially for my friends out there who love playing Exp Lane. Here, I'll first show you the strong enemies we're up against. They've got Bane, Johnson, and Fredrin, and on the top lane, there's Gatokaka. As you can see, they're all tanky and hard to deal with. So make sure to watch the video until the end, because I used a special item setup that helped me soften them up and handle those tough opponents. And this right here is the very first mistake an Exp Laner should never make. As you can see, I'm already being invaded here, but our Exp Laner still isn't paying attention. That's why you should always look at your minimap and never ever ignore your jungler, especially in the early game. Most importantly, when the enemy team has heroes with strong invade potential. Now, take a close look at what he's doing here. He's literally just watching me. Even though it's already a 1 versus 3 situation, I'm still fighting back because I'm focusing on the objective, and honestly, I really thought he was going to help me. I always say this when objectives are about to spawn, your jungler really needs you, especially if you're the Exp Laner. You should actually be the first one to move toward the turtle area to provide vision for your team. And if you're having a hard time rotating quickly, try cutting the lane so you can reach the objective area faster. Even though he's not really playing well here, I still decided to rotate toward him. I also noticed that the enemies were all on the bot side, so I tried to invade and cut some lanes to give him space to push properly. But here's what actually happened. Watch him closely and see for yourself. Here I saw Bane and Fredrin coming toward me, and I honestly thought our Exp Laner was going to engage with me, but instead he just stood there and watched. So what I did was use my ultimate to escape from Fredrin and get out safely. Shout out to our roamer here for what he did. Look at this. He actually collided with Johnson on purpose just to stop him from crashing into me. That was honestly the best play I've seen in this entire match. And since the enemies we're facing here are all pretty tanky, I decided to build Queen's Wings right away so I could actually fight them head on. Because even though they're tough, their damage isn't really that high, so getting Queen's Wings early gives me faster spell vamp and shorter skill cooldowns, letting me sustain and fight longer in battles. And please, if you're planning to invade an alpha and your team is full of tanks, just don't do it. It's much better if you bring a damage dealer with you, because if you don't, alpha will simply melt all of you. He's just built to punish tanky heroes who can't deal enough damage. And here, I tried to go for a 1v1 against Fredrin. I just wanted to test how tanky he really is. And yeah, I can confirm, he's definitely tough. And here, I finally decided to take the fight. Even though the enemies are all tanks, they're still totally manageable. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking for a strong gold laner or mid laner right now, you should really try Bane. He's actually pretty solid in the current meta. And this is where my early Queen's Wings build really starts to show its value. As you can see in this team fight, they can barely take down my HP because of the spell vamp. And once my health drops below 40%, the damage reduction kicks in. Plus, you also get cooldown reduction on top of that. That's why this item is so good when you're up against tanky opponents. Ah, so that explains why our Exp Laner was playing like that. He was actually lagging the whole time. He even tried to attack me at one point. And now the Lord fight has finally begun. Of course, who wouldn't want to contest with this kind of lineup, right? Even though our team has a lot of tanks, I still love contesting objectives because our zoning is really good. But I think the enemy team messed up their zoning here. Something just didn't go right for them. We went back to take the Lord, and at this point it was already a free Lord for us since no one came to contest. By this time, I already had Dominance Ice, a perfect combination with my Queen's Wings build. With these two items together, no hero can really take me down in a 1v1 fight, unless they gang up on me, of course. This is the kind of alpha build you really need to complete, especially when facing enemies like these. But remember, it's not always the same every game, sometimes you'll be up against strong mages too. In this match, I actually should have gone for Athena's shield to counter Bane and their mage-type marksman, but I decided not to, so in the end, it really depends on your situation and how you want to adjust your build. Johnson actually tried to crash into me here, but just like I said earlier, if they don't gang up on me, there's no way they can take me down that easily. See, they really can't take me down that easily, but let me be clear, just because you use this same build doesn't mean you'll get the exact same results in your game. Every match is different. I'm just showing you an example of what works for me. In the end, it's still up to you to decide what fits your own play style. Actually, I accidentally bought Brute Force in this match. It's not really that effective, especially against this kind of enemy lineup. So yeah, don't copy that part, I just misclicked it. But later on, I'll be replacing it with another item, and you'll be surprised to see what I switched it to. Here, while we were taking the Lord, I kept watching the enemy's movements just in case someone tried to contest or steal it. Thankfully, no one did. Oh, and here's an extra tip. Whenever you're taking the Lord, make sure your eyes are always on the minimap. Don't just stare at the Lord too much, because if you do, you might end up turning into an angel. Just kidding. And here, I was already planning to jump into the clash, but then I realized there were only 3 of us left, so I decided to hold back and wait for them to make the first move instead. That right there was the worst move, and I started to notice that the tanks were getting even tougher. They were becoming harder to kill, and at the same time, their damage dealers were starting to hurt more too. So at this point, I immediately switched to Malefic Roar. It was the only item I could think of that could help me shred their armor and deal with those tanky heroes. But if you guys have other ideas or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comment section so our other viewers can learn from it too. Here, we finally tried to push and end the game, and also to test if the item I switched to was really effective. And if you ever find yourself struggling with your hero's build, remember there's always an item guide to help you, but don't rely on it too much, because builds should always depend on the kind of enemies you're facing. And there it is, those tanky enemies from earlier just melted so fast. So yeah, that's it for this game. It turns out our Exp Laner was just lagging after all. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section if I missed anything. Thanks again, and as always, keep grinding.